What's going on? Rob here, Trev2323. I'm here with Commander Bob Carnagey from DAV Chapter 17 in Hammond, Indiana, and we're going to talk about the walk that's coming up. Where's the walk going to be at?
The walk's going to be on May 19th at a place called Wicker Park in Highland, Indiana. Wicker Park is located at the corners of Route 41 and Route 6.
And in the walk, I've been there before. You see, I'm a big supporter of disabled American veterans. What are we raising the money for on that day? What's the money go towards?
Well, the DAV has two fundraisers on an annual basis. This is one of them. And the proceeds of this walk goes into our treasury, and our treasury is dedicated about 95% to helping veterans in the northwest and south suburban Chicago area. So it stays local, it's here, and we help veterans of all types, whether they're falling through the cracks and need help to pay their bills on a certain month. We'll do it one time, we'll help them, we'll talk to them, we'll find out what caused them to slip through the cracks, whether they had lost their job, whether they had been sick. Various things can happen. And we want to make sure that this isn't a continuing thing, but it's a one-time assistance. And we get all kinds of crazy requests from veterans that need help, and usually they come to us at the 11th hour. So they've known that issues were coming up, and then they get a letter that says tomorrow. And that's when they can reach out and need help.
Okay. Now, with the what time is the walk going to be starting?
The walk starts at 10 o'clock. Registration will start at 7:30 in the morning. And the park is big. The park has a golf course and a picnic area and a playground and a water park for kids. But we have a picnic area with a pavilion. And we have a lot of activities going on there to interest veterans and their families. We have a display from a military museum of mostly Vietnam veterans and things that happened to them and awards and things like that they've been given. We also have a large area where there's a parking lot where we'll have some restored military vehicles on display. As you know, Robert, our friends from the Fallen Heroes will be there, and that's a series of about 200 plus placards that have a picture of a fallen soldier from the state of Indiana that have fallen in the last 20 years. And quite often we use these in parades, but on this particular day, the parade goes past them. Yeah. And they're affixed to a fence, and our friends from the Indiana Patriot Guard come out and put flags in between them. And it's an extremely impressive sight. As the walkers start on their 2.5 mile walk around the park, they go past all of these fallen heroes, and they see the images with flags in between, and they understand what the price of freedom is.
It's very heartfelt and moving, and we've met the Rosenwinkels, if I'm saying it right. We met them when they first started taking over, so we kind of gave them as much support as we can with the fallen heroes, and it just captured my heart. And I tell anybody, if you have teenagers, take them to this walk, and little ones, so they can see these signs and know why we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Isn't it, Robert, like when you take one of these placards and we walk in a parade, and you're carrying this image, and there's a picture and a brief write-up of this soldier, all of a sudden he's your brother.
Yeah, it is very powerful. So this walk right here is for Northwest Indiana and the Chicagoland area. This chapter right here is one of the biggest chapters I've seen. There's about 1,200 members, right?
We have over 1,000. The number keeps moving because we have elderly members, and that happens, but we have an influx of new people every month.
Well, one of my passions with this chapter, which Bob is the commander of, is that we always take in new people, older and younger, people that don't know what benefits can be given to them or they can get, but we have a passion for having this chapter here, so when, not just for us, for the people in the military now, the 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, when they come out, they'll have a place to go and somebody to help them. And also there's, what'd you say, the 1 in 22 veterans?
There's 22 veterans a day that commit suicide.
Okay.
And what we want to do, we have a lot of different displays that will be there in different organizations that will be there talking about what they do. We have two of the vet centers, the one from Gary/Crown Point and the vet center from Chicago Heights. This is where veterans that might be suffering from PTSD or traumatic brain injury can go and talk to psychiatrists and psychologists in a group setting and share their experiences and try to share from each other and talk through things with each other. And it's a very, very important thing that we not forget folks that are suffering on the inside, and sometimes they have a tough time expressing that. But when they're with their peers, sometimes it's easier for them to express it. And so those folks will be here. We'll have veteran service officers to help any veteran who may need help in processing a claim with the Veterans Administration. We'll have some companies that help us get old. So, and what I mean by that is I've been suffering from really a bad back for about a year. And I found a company, organization that's like a rehab center, and they work on backs and muscular things. And through the auspices of my Medicare and things like that, they help me.
Okay.
They help me tremendously. We'll also have representatives from Stryker Medical. Do you know who Stryker Medical is?
I haven't heard of that.
Okay.
Well, I have heard of them, but I don't know what they do.
Okay. They make artificial hips, knees, and things like that. Not limbs, but the implants.
Okay.
And the thing that's good about talking to those folks, as we age, our joints give out sometimes and you need replacements. Well, you can talk to the people that manufacture them and find out. So you don't have to be fearful of certain things. You know, you don't have to, oh, I never heard of it. I don't know what's going to happen. Man, my knee's been killing me. Well, the guys who make the replacements can talk to you about them, and you can have a much better understanding of what the future might hold for you.
Okay, so this is all going to happen on May 19th at Wicker Park, right?
Wicker Park in Highland, Indiana. Some of our friends from Illinois get confused. They think of Wicker Park in Chicago.
Okay.
They'll be lonely there.
Okay, Wicker Park in Highland, Indiana, and get there early. I mean, if everything's going to start at 10 o'clock, honestly, parking is pretty tight there because it does get pretty packed, and it's a very emotional time. If you know a veteran, if you know if you have a child in the service, come join us. If you have a relative, a friend in the service, or somebody that's a veteran, bring them, because one thing that happens with veterans is when they come home to a family and there's no veterans, they keep everything in and they have nobody to relate with. Look for me, look for Bob, look for any of us, and we'll point you to who we can talk with and everything to start opening them up.
And one thing that's really important, Robert, is go to the web, DAV 17IN. That's our website. You can register for the walk. And the reason that's important, we have shirts like this. They're going to be printed on the day of the walk with our logos and things like that for the walk. But we have these for the walkers when they register. So we need to know how many are coming. You don't pay online. You just register. You'll pay when you get here. But so we know how many are here. And our friends from Stryker are going to provide lunch for us after we walk. And we need to know how many are going to be there for that. So
that's
two reasons for us to
awesome. I didn't know that about
you,
Stryker.
Yep,
okay.
It's really important for you to register so we have some idea of the numbers that'll be here.
All right, I'm going to share this on a bunch of Facebook pages. Please share this so we can get as much. Our big thing is just to show about the military and the veterans, but we're trying to put a web out there so no veteran gets left behind. We want to help all the veterans.
That's key. No veteran left behind.
Thank you
for the opportunity, Robert.
All right, thank you, sir.